Viewer discretion is advised.
Hold on. Please don't move.
Shots fired where?
Alright, so obviously I hope everybody enjoyed their night off last night. That won't happen again.
That's true about that.
We're a victim of our own success. That's a good thing. Tonight, Queens.
This body-worn camera footage shows officers attempting to pull over a vehicle that was reported stolen. The driver decided to flee the scene and collide into a police vehicle moments later. Officers found out this vehicle was stolen when the car drove by their police vehicle that was equipped with a license plate reader, which can determine if a vehicle is stolen.
Yo, pump him up. There you go.
Yo, stop talking.
Hey, where's Nick?
Queen South ALU Lieutenant, clear the air. I need a bus for an MOS.
All right, right now we're going to head to this accident that happened with a police vehicle. The defendant tried to flee from the police and he actually hit one of our cars. So we're about 1 minute out. We're going to take you to see what happened.
Behind the car, we run the plate as tense. Plate stolen. Go to do a traffic stop and checkers on him. Reverses into our car. Pulls out, crashes into that RMP here. He's caught in the car. Male's the driver, female's front passenger. After he's placed under, we run the VIN. The car's reported stolen as well. So
The plate doesn't match the car?
The plate, no, yeah, it doesn't. So there's a complaint on the plate and a complaint on the VIN for the stolen car and a stolen plate report. So he's going to be arrested on those two complaints. And then we'll probably drop a new complaint for reckless endangerment for him fleeing and crashing into the police car.
And assault 2?
And assault 2 on that.
On the, yeah.
Yes, so those are all going to be new complaints and he's going to be collared on the previous complaints.
Bronx Robbery Squad is currently working on a 14-piece pattern consisting of 4 commands. In this pattern, there's a black Chrysler 300 that is pulling up to vehicles with victims that are either getting out of the vehicle or inside of that vehicle. Approaching them with black ski masks, wearing all black, at gunpoint. Extremely dangerous, violent, making demands for jewelry, US currency, and cell phones. They're taking these cell phones and using them to open up the phone to transfer funds to other accounts and driving away. In some instances, in at least 3 cases, perpetrators carjacked our victims and used those cars in other robberies as well.
While up in the Bronx on routine patrol, we were addressing a citywide robbery pattern, which included a Mercedes-Benz, Toyota RAV4, and a black Chrysler 300. We were driving around, and I actually seen a Mercedes-Benz, so me and my car and my partners, we actually went to go approach the vehicle for not only the heavy tints, but it was double parked. We went to the car, immediately the door opened. One of the occupants tried to get out, so we said, "Sir, just get back in the car." The occupant ran across the street, dropped the firearm, led officers on the 3-block chase.
Stay right here. Stay right here. Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider! Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider, on the air, red hoodie.
In regards to this stop, my main priority is my officer's safety and the safety of the public. We are engaging violent individuals in the street, and this is a dangerous job that we're doing. We understand that. We took the oath for that. That being said, safety is paramount, and each one of my officers have a family to get back home to, as do I. So my main priority is to make sure that everybody gets home safe.
Turn them over. Turn them aside. Turn them on the side.
When we eventually caught up to him, we were able to safely apprehend him and arrest him for that firearm.
So when Chief Adju took over the Chief Patrol's office in June of 2022, we realized there were a lot of battles ahead of us. And one of those battles was the battle of quality of life. So one of our first things that we implemented from this office was to build a community response team. A response team that responded to the community's requests for quality of life issues and some issues, sometimes crime issues. We found roughly a dozen officers from around the city that were young, energetic, and wanted to work hard. We put together those officers with some good supervisors, and we went out for the summer of 2022, and we attacked quality of life. We went after ATVs, we went after peddlers, we addressed crime conditions. Our community response team was all over the city of New York. And I will tell you this, it has been highly successful, and it's gaining momentum into the 2023 crime campaign. So some of our quality of life initiatives that I mentioned have resulted in a combination of about 15,000 ATVs and ghost paper plate cars recovered. This is one of our main focuses for the summer. And the reason why we focus on this, besides being a quality of life issue, it is well known that ATVs, motorbikes, ghost cars with paper plates not registered are committing many crimes in our city. So this was a main focus of the Chief Patrol's community response team. So before we hit the streets, we did extensive training with our legal department, with our city agencies, DEP, our peddler units. We went to anti-crime or plainclothes training, as it's referred to. Before we hit the streets at all, we were well trained. And I will tell you, it's paid off. Our cops have performed admirably, and they've worked hard, and they've definitely made a difference in the city.
Directly in front of the Connex box. He was in that area by the fence, closer to the Connex box. His left hand went down by the doors of the Connex box. All right, boy, thank you. And then a four-wheeler, looks like he threw a backpack on the seat, and then they put a tarp over it real quick.
All right, so good evening. It's 9 o'clock on a Friday night. We're in the confines of the 32nd Precinct. We're at West 132 Street and Lenox Road. We're here tonight again with our interagency partners. We got the Fire Department, Department of Buildings, our legal department, of course, our community response team. Tonight, a legal ATV, it brought us to this vacant lot here. And upon investigation of this lot, this became a serious situation with flammable liquids and gasoline. We called over our interagency units, and they deemed it very, very unsafe. To mitigate this, we're removing the bikes from this location, hopefully saving some of these buildings if there was a fire, and creating a better atmosphere for this community. So these bikes are leaving behind me, about 40 plus illegal bikes, and thanks to the expertise of our agencies and the help of our legal department here, we did it the right way. We kept the community safe, and We're also tackling a quality of life issue with the illegal ATVs. Have a good evening. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so we got a 911 call of a 1010 with a knife, male just walking around with a kitchen knife on the corner of like Andrews Avenue, West Fordham Road. When we got there, the caller said the male had fled eastbound on Fordham, so we did a canvas. We ended up, the caller met us again on University in Fordham and pointed over to a local check cashing place and was like, he's right there, he's in front of the check cashing place.
It's this guy, got me. Sir, come here.
So we pulled up, I got out of the car. The guy was like looking, saw 2 police cars approaching him, and we said, hey, come over here. And he took off eastbound on Fordham Road. As he was running, he pulled the knife out of his pants. And then we pursued him.
Drop the knife.
And on like Aqueduct and Fordham Road is where he was on the sidewalk, I was on the street, and he actually changed directions, and I lost him behind a bus stop and an ERS box, and that's where he slashed my nose. Came down and it came like through here and it was hanging by like this piece right here.
Did you feel that your nose was slashed?
I could see it dangling from my face.
Okay, and how did that make you feel when it happened? What was going through your mind?
Just like I knew I couldn't pass out or anything because it was too dangerous of a situation. And then I just I like reloaded my taser and then I ended up getting him with the second deployment. He went down and then the other officers cuffed him.
No, chop it! Drop the knife! Drop the kid! No.
After he was cuffed, I put a glove on, tried to get my nose back on my face as well as I could, and then my partner came, looked at it. Other responding officers showed up and they put gauze on my face, and I got into the back of an RMP and I went to St. Barnabas Hospital where they did surgery on my face.
What's up? My nose was like half off, but I'll be good.
How many surgeries did you have to go through?
Just the one surgery so far, and I have a consultation with a laser surgeon coming up.
All right, are you still going to be a police officer?
Yes, absolutely.
Why you know this job is dangerous, though. Why do you want to do it, though? Like, why?
I mean, I have a lot of family on the job. My grandfather was on the job, 3 of my dad's brothers. And I just the opportunity to actually go out, help people, and make a difference in people's lives, I think is the biggest thing for me.
So we were in the 115 precinct addressing a strong arm robbery that occurred to a 17-year-old child who was picking up his sister from school. We had have gotten knowledge of that incident because that family had made a 911 call for the incident, and we were also in contact with the detectives of the 115 precinct. So the Find My iPhone feature or application had brought us to a building within the confines of the 115 precinct that it initially had pinged to.
Every apartment building, right? Just to see if it pings, if the phone pings, and if you hear it, just let us know, all right? So we can all kind of come to that location.
Listen to me on the radio. I'm gonna ping it.
At that location, we were somewhat able to triangulate that ping to within that location. We just couldn't figure out if it was in what apartment the phone was in. So, in an attempt to try to find this phone, we had placed several officers in and around the building near apartments to see if we can hear the ping or the actual ring of the phone. Unfortunately, we were close, but we weren't able to get the ring or the ping to pinpoint the actual location of the phone at that time. We tracked the phone to a Wendy's restaurant on Northern Boulevard. I sent inside the restaurant Sergeant Roman with a handful of my guys just to see who was inside the restaurant and just make observations at that time. Once the number was called, the phone rang, and at that particular time, Sergeant Roman was able to observe an individual inside Wendy's pull out the phone as he started to fidget with it. That individual had identified himself to Sergeant Roman and also stated that the phone didn't belong to him, at which point we were able to realize and see that that phone was the phone that was actually robbed from this young 17-year-old victim. I have children, and you know, my daughters, I have twin daughters who are 20 years old, and you know, you don't want to see that your children ever would have to go through, right? So just knowing that this young kid, 17 years old, was threatened and robbed by 4 individuals, approached by 4 individuals in a threatening manner, it was good to see that we actually, a day after, was able to apprehend at least one of the participants of that robbery.
I was walking through my neighborhood on my way to pick up my sister from the bus stop when a group of 4 men approached me, and one grabbed my hoodie and pushed me against a fence and told me, give me everything, and they took my AirPods out of my ears, they took my shoes off my feet, they took my phone, and they took my wallet, and then they proceeded to run off. And I had ran down the street, a good Samaritan lent me his phone. I then called my mom and I called police, and police responded urgently, and I'm just very grateful I wasn't hurt and they didn't hurt me, and I'm very grateful that the police were able to recover my phone.
We're here at the Cops and Kids Gym in Flatbush, Brooklyn. This gym was started in response to community complaints that kids were getting caught up in the streets with drugs and gangs and stuff. So what we did was we got together with the local elected officials, the landlord, we collaborated, and we opened this Cops and Kids Gym. It's extremely important to bring cops and kids together in a positive atmosphere, and that's what this program does. It builds a long-lasting relationship between the cops and the inner city kids.
And a small step with the left, a small step with the right. So what you want to do is you want to move around with little small steps. Show how it's done, fellas. Show them how it's done. You want to take little steps. Each you take an officer to work. You've done this. You want to fight. You've been with me for a long time. Work with him. Work with him, Raj.
What does this unit do exactly?
Which unit right here? Yeah. The community response team? Okay, so let's talk about the community response team. I'm glad you asked that question. This is a new unit that we started out of my office, the Chief of Patrol's office, and we're still working on it, but it's really about addressing community needs, right? It's about responding to common community complaints. Also, things that we see that are really causing harm in the community. The unit is built to address that as well. But not only do I want to address community concerns, community complaints, Also, I want them to make sure that, I want them to be a part of reaching out to young people like you, all right? Because that's very important.
Ready? All right, ready, go. Keep a little smile, keep a little smile. There you go. Yeah, you're not wiping the smile off, man. That's
one thing, like all of the cops, everything, and Dave, I grew up like in a bad environment, bad situation. The gym changed my life. Everyone here, like it feels like family. When I come here, it's like my second home.
Yep, you know what? That's important, man, and that's what it's all about. You all, each and every one of you come from different neighborhoods, different communities, different family backgrounds. But y'all all brothers. Remember that, y'all all brothers. Taking care of yourself is positive. All you gotta do is apply that to everything you do in life, all right? Don't value things that are not positive, all right? Y'all value this, boxing here, sports, that's positive. Apply it to your schoolwork, apply it to home. I'm telling you, every last one of you will be successful. I'm pretty sure at least another 2 or 3, you're gonna have that big post up there like Bruce Carrington, Shushu, another young man from out of the community here who's doing great with himself. All right, it's just gonna be a matter of time before one of you young guys, your post is gonna hang on these walls right here for everybody to say, hey, I'm gonna be just like him. I'm gonna do what he did and stay focused. It's here, the opportunity is here. You've got people here who care about you and wanna have something open for you and want you to come here and be a part of it and be successful, all right? So, you know, school time, you know, everybody, when you come here after school, it should be about 45 minutes to an hour in the books, reading, making sure your work is done, and then you get on the floor. You get down there, get that rope work in, get the heavy bag in, you get your sparring in, your push-ups and sit-ups. And that's it, that's a great day, man. A great day with no trouble, a great day of doing some schoolwork, a great day of working out and boxing, doing what you love. Every day should be like that, right? Every day should be like that, right? Good, so just stay focused, stay positive. I'm waiting to see the next champ come out of here, all right? Waiting to see the next champ.
No, this is the car.
Oh, this is the car? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
this is it.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right, 10-4.
All right.
Did he leave already? Or?
He's literally right there.
You told him what it's about?
I just told him he was coming into custody as part of the investigation. I didn't go into details or nothing like that. Nice and easy. You wanted to let him know?
Yeah,
you know, by
I'm
all
gonna
means,
ask
go
him
do your
keys.
thing.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Oh, that's hysterical.
Right?
Yeah.
That him? That's him. Right there. Oops.
Oh,
Hanging
that's
out
car.
the window.
Yeah, that's the car. He's leaning out the
100%.
window on his social media. So we're gonna take this car. This is the vehicle that we are looking for. Screenshot that. Taking their cars for like yeah, that's the vehicle. Maybe they'll stop doing it in New York when they see that we're taking their cars. Like, we're not giving you no tickets. We're not giving you a summons. We're not giving warnings. We're gonna do a police report. We're not gonna chase you. We're just gonna do a police report, leave it open, investigatory, put an alarm on the plate number, and then come back, find the car, and just take your vehicle. Because we can't prove that he was actually driving because we didn't see him. So let him put that on Instagram. But you know why we're taking the car, right, Grandma?
Yes, I know.
All right, we can't have that in the street.
I know.
So.
I know, and he's already in court.
Right.
For that, because that's what.
He's in
he
court
was
for the
pulled.
same thing?
Yes, they pulled him over in coming.
This past Sunday, October 9th, at approximately 4 a.m. in the morning, these illegal street races took over the McCombs Dam Bridge, behavior that they thought was acceptable. Well, it's not. The residents of New York City and the New York City Police Department will not tolerate illegal cars, illegal ATVs, taking over the streets of our city. To the people that were on that bridge with these illegal vehicles, rest assured, the investigation continues. To the hard-working detectives of the New York City Police Department and technology at our fingertips, within 3 days, we were able to remove one of these dangerous vehicles off the streets of New York City. We will continue to take back this city and take back our quality of life.
While doing routine patrol in the confines of the 110 precinct, my partner and I were traveling eastbound on Roosevelt Avenue at the corner of 114th Street. This is the East Elmhurst area and in the borough of Queens North. We initiated a car stop on a white four-door sedan with a temporary plate. Now, these temporary plates are what the criminal element has been using to commit these crimes throughout our city.
This vehicle was observed with a forged plate. The officers ran a license plate. The plate came back stolen using our smartphones. So everybody's going to be detained right now until we can conduct a further investigation. We're going to check the VIN number now to make sure this vehicle is not stolen, but definitely the plate's stolen. And the driver says that he just bought the car today. So let's we're out here doing a little further investigation. We'll determine whether or not this story is in fact legit.
So the temporary plate, or the paper plate as people say, is pretty much a plate that if you buy your car outside New York State, a dealer will give you a plate so you could drive the thing home to your house. It's only really made to drive to your house. Unfortunately, like my partner said, the criminal element is using these plates in commission of crimes. Pretty much it gives the car a little bit of a ghost status where it's very hard to track where the car came from or where it's going because the plate a lot of times comes back to nothing. They're fake. In this case, the plate was fake and it was also stolen. So it had been stolen and altered. The VIN was crossed out, the car's make and model was crossed out on the plate and was changed. So when we had run the plate, it came back as a stolen plate as well.
It makes it a good stop as well.
And also, look, it's crossed out.
Yeah, that's what we're
this is forgery right here. This is what the sheriff said. That's what happens.
Right, stolen
yeah.
property. Right. You got both. And because the car is improperly plated, that's another charge. We got to take it back. Right. Because it's a liability issue for us when we leave it on the streets. Got unregistered, uninsured car.
The driver also had no insurance at all, and which is pretty bad because if he gets into an accident with another motorist, that motorist is out of luck, unfortunately, with their getting repairs to their vehicle or anything else.
We have a lot of oversight when we're out there in the street. Oversight, meaning that the general public, whether they're taking cell phone videos of us, uploading it to social media. Oversight for the department, meaning for us is when we deploy, when we go out and do our initiatives, our big initiatives, we have a deputy chief that is with us, we have an inspector with us, we have a lieutenant, we have a sergeant, and we have our agency attorneys. It's great. Our agency attorneys are a great resource for us. A lot of the times when we have legal advice, instead of picking up the phone and calling our attorney in the office, we just turn to our right or the left and our agency attorney is right there with us. And it's great not only that they're out there in the ground with us, but they're actually observing the same violations, the same infractions that the officers are seeing, the agency attorney is seeing too. So it is a terrific tool in our toolbox when we deploy with our agency attorneys. Pattern 82 is a 39 hit, 3 patrol borough robbery case of motorbikes with 2 males on the bikes. They approach victims on the street, either cut them off on a crosswalk while they're ready to walk, or on the sidewalk themselves, approach at gunpoint and take expensive jewelry and flee. These bikes are extremely dangerous. They are driving with no regard to human life on the wrong side of roads, sidewalks, one-way streets, with driving through red lights at a high rate of speed. These are extremely dangerous perpetrators that, again, approach vulnerable victims, women, children, elderly, at gunpoint, and rip jewelry off of them and flee in unknown directions.
On September 5th, I was assigned specifically to the neighborhood safety team, where we out there to address city-wide robbery pattern number 82, which is pretty much includes individuals who go around and rob people on motorcycles and mopeds with firearms. On that evening, I was traveling northbound on Southern Boulevard when I observed a motorcycle with no plates traveling at a high rate of speed southbound on Southern Boulevard. When I made a U-turn to continue to observe the individual, he then notices me by looking back, and then he takes off, going through 3 steady red lights. On the 3rd light at the intersection of Southern Boulevard and Interville Avenue, he then ends up colliding with a black SUV who was attempting to make a left turn. Me and my partner didn't see that, and then we rushed there to render aid.
You got your witness now, right?
As we render an aid, my partner is looking for any identification to give to the responding EMS. When we see a loaded firearm in his book bag, and then we place him under arrest, take him to the hospital.
Dice there. No, I only dropped 1. Pick the dice up.
I saw you guys listen. I saw.
Pick the dice up. Listen, stop playing games and pick the dice up. I only dropped 1. I'm sorry.
Oh, put some, just in case it's spent, no, just make sure you have gloves on.
Yeah.
Let me get some gloves.
We're coming down the block. We see some men engaged in what looked like a game of dice. When we saw closer, we saw them rolling. While walking up to the defendant, I noticed this hanging out of his pocket from the clip, and I stopped him, and when I removed it, I realized this is a switchblade. It's spring activated, pretty dangerous weapon, and when I pulled this out, there was little vials of what we presume a white powdery substance, which looks like alleged cocaine.
So like narcotics to you?
Some sort of narcotics, yep.
And did you find anything else after you were searching him?
Yeah, so we went a little deeper. We lit alleged ecstasy pills. They're little shaped pills.
How were they packaged?
They're packaged in individual Ziplocs.
And based upon your experience, what do you think that's for?
Ecstasy.
You know what? You just don't put it.
Sounds good. Great.
All right, so it's 9:15. Our community response team, while heading up north into Manhattan North, we were by the Lincoln houses. We decided to stop by. This is development where the largest gang war in Manhattan North exists, between Lincoln over everything and Goodfellas, some upper Manhattan North here in the 3-2. As we're driving our block, we see a person playing dice, another quality of life issue that affects sometimes violence. As we go after the person playing dice, lo and behold, he's a local drug dealer. As you can see here, he is dealing in pills and ecstasy. and crack cocaine. So, again, a quality of life issue, a precursor to crime in a gang war area. This is where we need to be to fight crime and affect quality of life in New York City. Good night. So this was the early morning hours of Sunday in Midtown Manhattan, 47th Street and 11th Avenue. We were monitoring some post-rolling loud events in the city around some nightclubs. One of our units engaged a vehicle that committed a traffic infraction. When he tried to pull his car over, it went to stop, but then it took off on us.
Hey, Danny, who's putting this over?
I got one outstanding.
One outstanding.
We're on Riverside at 7-3 right now. Give a location.
Riverside 7-3, that's behind us.
right here.
Danny, who's putting this over? Was it?
Both put it over. Both put it over.
Alright, so.
Right, as we tried to pull the car over, and when it did pull over, occupants of that vehicle ran from the car, causing us to chase these individuals.
He's going to get the location. 6-7 Riverside here. Take where are you?
6-7 Riverside.
North, Cater, north. Sector. Need you to raise a supervisor on Midtown North. I need him on 5-9, 11th to West End, and shut down the block for me. There's a firearm on the street.
We apprehended two, we recovered a firearm, and we saved the victim from that night. But the last gun that Mo and P.O. Carmazada engaged tonight happened to be one of the worst gang members in New York City, let alone Brooklyn North. So the last act we did tonight really made a difference. What they were doing down here? Shooting, robbery, Lord knows what they're gonna do, but you all stopped it. So good job to you, great week, and go home and get some rest, all right? Good job.